Because nearly 6% of pregnant women report marijuana use. That's right. A new study from the University of Georgia College of Public Health found that about 6% of pregnant women reported using marijuana during the last month, and many did not associate it with health risks. The study highlights the importance of education surrounding marijuana use during pregnancy, said lead researcher Mohammed Rifat Haider, and published in the American Journal on Addictions. The study utilized responses from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. Among 4,338 pregnant mothers, 5.7% reporting using marijuana during the last month. Within that group, 70.9% perceived little to no risk associated with marijuana use during pregnancy, even though it has been associated with low birth weights, premature birth, and neurodevelopmental effects, you guys. While other substances like alcohol or illegal drugs have clearly identified adverse effects, marijuana has some conflicting perceptions, said Haider, an assistant professor in health policy and management. It can be seen as helpful in reference to cancer patients seeking to minimize nausea, but studies have also shown harmful side effects of continued use. During pregnancy, however, the evidence clearly points to negative effects, Haider said. And also, 2 of 3 pregnant women who used pot live in states where medical marijuana is legal. 2/3 of the pregnant women who reported using marijuana lived in a state where medical marijuana was legal at the time of the survey, you guys. Man, oh man. And most of the pregnant women who used marijuana were also in their first trimester, and use decreased as the pregnancy progressed. And women in their first trimester may have seen medical marijuana as a way to combat morning sickness, Haider said. Well. He also has another quote and says, marijuana is seen as a cure for nausea, but that's not the way it should be dealt with in pregnancy because it is harmful for the mother and the fetus, Haider said. Rather than turn to medical marijuana, he says, women should talk to their OBGYN about prescription drugs that can limit nausea and vomiting, Haider said. Well, of course this doctor is pushing prescription drugs, but nonetheless. And doctors should be prepared to address misconceptions about how marijuana can affect these symptoms during pregnancy, this article states as well. Well. And then in a final quote, he says, when medical marijuana is available, when it is legal, it is available in the pharmacy. It is widely available, he said. So we need to be extra cautious in those states and make solid policy that helps make pregnant women aware of the detrimental effects of marijuana use. Another factor associated with marijuana use, he says, was mental health disorders or major depressive episodes. This is seen with many other substances, Haider said. And it's funny, his last name is Haider because it sounds like Haider.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah. Where if there are unmet health needs, individuals are more likely to experience a substance use disorder. All of these numbers highlight a need for improved education efforts around marijuana use in pregnancy, and doctors should be prepared to screen individuals for past substance use, including regular marijuana use, and they should provide information on potential adverse effects of marijuana, especially in states where medical marijuana is legal, he says. And in a quote, he says, evidence shows that during pregnancy, marijuana use is detrimental for both a mother and a child. Well. Mohammed Rafat Haider of the College of Public Health, and scroll this up a little bit faster. There we go. He also says that, long story short, this is a very vulnerable population, and evidence shows that during pregnancy, marijuana use is detrimental for both mother and child, Haider said, and there needs to be policy direction from the state to have these discussions. The co-authors of the study include Oris postdoctoral fellow at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Sabrina Karam, University of Kentucky College of Public Health Associate Professor Janai Jawadaha, and UGA College of Public Health Professor Nathan B. Hansen, and Ohio University Department of Social Medicine Associate Professor and Director of Global Health Institute, Zaleem T. Holly. Well, I can't wait to hear what the ladies have to say about this. I am so confused because it sounds like he was saying good things about cannabis at first and then all of a sudden switched his whole story up at the end. But nonetheless, he's a doctor, so who knows really? And this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all got to say about this?
Dr. Hater sucks. First of all, no, there's not. Show your work. Studies have shown. Studies have shown what? Tell me what conditions they're shown to increase. The only thing that has possibly been linked to pregnancy and cannabis use is the possibility of ADHD, which they're diagnosing all our fucking kids with anyway. So I don't understand. Like, yeah, in the first trimester, women are using it because guess what happens in the first trimester? Fortunately, I was lucky enough not to have this, but you're puking your guts up. So yes, if you're able to eat and something's keeping the food in your stomach, that seems to be way more important for the baby than whether you're smoking something, because you're not sharing a set of lungs with the baby, right? So there is an argument that whenever you are combusting something and inhaling smoke, maybe that's not always the best method for anybody to consume. But who gives a shit? You're not sharing a pair of lungs with the baby, and this fear mongering is ridiculous. I don't understand. They want you to go to the doctor and get Zofran. Let me Google the side effects of Zofran while y'all throw your opinions in here so we can see what's what.
What do you have
literally, like, these prescription drugs are far worse. They have wild side effects. Like, and this doctor is just totally full of shit. We've written about cannabis and pregnancy quite a bit over at Green State, specifically Kara Wheatstock, our senior content producer. She's covered this multiple times. You know, all the science is super shaky. There's really no definitive proof that cannabis harms your unborn child. So as Jenny was going to say, hater is a hater.
Here we go. The side effects of Zofran, excuse me, which is ondansetron, which is what they prescribe for pregnant women for nausea. Heart rhythm changes, faster irregular heartbeat, dizziness, feeling faint or lightheaded, chest pain, trouble breathing, irritability, confusion, faster irregular heartbeat, muscle stiffness, twitching muscles, sweating, high fever, seizure, chills, vomiting, diarrhea. But please God, don't smoke weed.
Yeah, cannabis doesn't have any of those side effects. You might actually just hold some food down and, like, attack the refrigerator.
Well, they don't
Which is
like
good during pregnancy.
Back in the 80s, a PhD by the name of Melanie Dreyer, she was a nurse with a PhD. She went to Jamaica, did longitudinal studies, and studied Rastafarian women who smoked like a choo-choo train. And all the kids met their milestones. They came back later. The kids showed no evidence that there was problems from this. Now, the problem we face is the DEA wouldn't allow studies unless they showed bad things. And the bad things had to be exaggerated. And the other problem that we face today is that women don't want to tell their doctor they're using cannabis when they're pregnant. The downside can be serious. I mean, my daughters had this problem when they were having the emesis problem. They were drug testing you, so what do you do? And this is why I stopped pursuing medicine, because the cynical side of me says that these guys are full of shit. They're so afraid to say something that might piss the government and the DEA off. They keep mouthing this bullshit about, it might cause problems. Well, as Jenny says, show us your evidence. Let it be critically evaluated by people on all sides of these issues, and just stop with this blowing smoke up our ass.
Yeah, Dale makes a really good point, actually. I mean, like, a lot of women are for sure afraid to talk about it because there are certain places where your kids get taken away or it's found that you consume cannabis during pregnancy. So I think that the 6% is actually pretty low.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing right there, Rachelle. There's no way that 6% is anywhere close to being accurate.
I think it's like 6% of all overall women. I don't think it's 6% of all pregnant women.
Well, they
That
reported.
would make no sense, Jason.
Yeah, they self-reported, and I just feel sorry for both of the women like on with us today.
So does this? Does this?
It's just, I'm trying to keep things like non-political and everything, but women should. I'm just saying, like, women should be able to control their bodies.
Does this mean that? Does this mean that 6% of pregnant women would snitch? Is that what this study really means?
No, Jason. What it means is 6% of these women feel strongly enough about what they're doing being the right thing that they're willing to fucking self-report that they used cannabis so that things could happen, right? So I don't know. I think that it's frustrating because if you're on Medicaid and you give birth, right, you're tested. If you test positive, they will take your child. Guess who that happens to more frequently? Black and brown women. So, this is another attack on Black and brown families.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Man.
Healthcare is very, very, very important, and women healthcare is very important. And like stuff like this it's really, really hard not to get political, but I'm going to do it my best. Like, just women should have complete control over what they put in their fucking bodies. Period.
I mean, there are limits, right? Because there have
They
definitely been women who've been pulled out of fucking crack houses with needles in their arms 7 months pregnant. Those women probably should be stopped.
Fair enough. Good point, Jenny Beth.